take the lead among all radio station. Emirate Radio, the station of your choice.
It's a beautiful, beautiful morning here in the city of. It's a beautiful morning here in the city of Ilorin, Nigeria. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning, and I think it's chilly. It rained last night, but it did not rain in my area. We just felt the breeze. Najeebah said it did not rain in our area too, but we felt the breeze. And someone enjoyed the rain very well as well. So yeah. Good morning and welcome to this episode of Newspaper Review on Emirate Radio. I am Latifah Ibrahim-Arowona, and with me this morning is
I am Najeebah Oyerinde. So today we'll be bringing you newspaper headlines from various newspaper and top stories from various newspaper too.
Yeah, and the newspaper we have this morning are the Royal Online newspaper, our very own online Royal newspaper, the Punch newspaper, the Vanguard newspaper, Daily Post, and Daily Trust newspaper. So stay with us as we bring you the Nigerian dailies on newspaper review this morning. So the first newspaper I'm going to look into this morning is the Royal newspaper. So Kwara announces deadline for payment of 8.4 million naira 2025 cash fare.
Bringing you on the Vanguard, it's possible Ibrahim confident Real Madrid can pull comeback against Arsenal.
Still on the online Royal newspaper, tell your papa people they die. Idris Abdulkarim tells Sheyi Tinubu.
Also on the Vanguard, NSA warns against ransom payment to terrorists, kidnappers, and others.
Still on the online Royal newspaper, FCC Minister Nyesom Wike holds suspended river lawmakers in the UK.
Also on Vanguard, Rivers appoints administrators for 23 Rivers local government amidst legal political tensions.
And on the Punch newspaper this morning, Jaffa, Nigeria loses $366 million as 16,000 doctors move abroad.
On the Guardian, Bagudu hails Tinubu's agri reforms as Bako decries Africans' reliance on food imports. See
on the Punch newspaper, 11 PDP governors urge South courts to halt Rivers emergency rule.
Also on the Guardian, Obi Mba highlights Africans' potential at Commonwealth Summit.
Still on the Punch newspaper, by 27, marry, get a PhD or move out. Kanayo tells daughter on 25th birthday.
Still on the Guardian, lawyers petition police alleged plot to discredit Kano Emirate.
Still on the Punch newspaper, Olubadan declares Serikin Sasa illegal, threatens sanction.
Still on the Guardian, Unwaboyin faces 5 billion naira defamation suit from Natasha, recall threat from constituents.
Still on the Punch newspaper, Ifa Council urges Alaafin to uphold Yoruba tradition.
And we also have it here on the Guardian, Edo Assembly gets new majority leader, Chief Whip.
And on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, 1 dead, 4 injured in Osun Polytechnic's calls clash.
On the Nation newspaper, Shatima inaugurates NISO board.
And on the Daily Post newspaper, police uncovers baby factory in Ijegun, rescues 10 victims.
Also on the Nation, Air Peace introduces new passenger boarding procedures.
Still on Daily Post newspaper, I don't have personal relationship with Wizkid, Burna Boy says Davido.
Still on the Nation, NCC MNOs orders plans refund of unused airtime to subscribers.
And on the Leadership newspaper this morning, CSO urges states to include feeding menus in pilgrims enlightenment programs for AHA 2025. And still on the Leadership newspaper this morning, NAHCON urges unity among stakeholders amidst squabbles. And on the Leadership newspaper this morning, experts push for traditional remedies for maternal care for World Health Day. see on the Leisure newspaper this morning on our newspaper headlines, Nigeria seeks to host 2030 Commonwealth Games. So let's go on a short break and we'll be right back.
Take the lead among all radio station. Emirate Radio, the station of your choice.
Alright, welcome back from that short interlude. So, the newspaper we're going to take you through this morning firstly is an online radio newspaper. Quora announces deadline for payments of 8.4 million naira 2025 Hajj fare. The Executive Secretary of the Kwara State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board, Alhaji Abdulkadir Abdulsalam, has announced that the deadline for completion of Hajj 2025 payments will be Friday, April 11, 2025. The Secretary made this declaration during a live radio program where he addressed important matters concerning the upcoming pilgrimage. Alhaji Abdulsalam emphasized that the total cost for this year's Hajj exercise is 8.459,000 naira, while also appealing to all intending pilgrims who have made partial payment to ensure they complete their balance before the April 11 deadline and no extensions will be granted.
On the Vanguard newspaper, it's possible Mbappe, confident Real Madrid can pull comeback against Arsenal. Real Madrid forward Kylian Mbappe has expressed confidence that a Champions League comeback against Arsenal is still within reach. Mbappe was unable to make a difference as Real Madrid suffered a heavy 3-0 defeat to Arsenal in the quarter-final first leg at the Emirate Stadium on Tuesday night. The Gunners secured a commanding win thanks to a brace from Declan Rice and a goal from Mikel, putting Carlo Ancelotti's side on the back foot ahead of the return leg. Real Madrid will now look to overturn the defeat when they welcome Arsenal to the Santiago Bernabeu next week, Wednesday. Speaking after the match, Mbappe encouraged his teammates to keep the faith. The comeback is possible. Of course, we have to believe until the end, Mbappe said, as quoted by Fabrizio Romano. Before the crucial second leg, Real Madrid are set to face Alaves in La Liga fixture on Sunday.
Still on the online royal newspaper this morning, FCC Minister Nyesom Wike hosts suspended river lawmakers in the UK. Nigeria's Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, on Monday hosted members of the suspended Rivers State House of Assembly. In a video shared Tuesday on X, the minister's senior special assistant on public communications and social media, Lanre Olayinka, said his principal played host to the lawmakers in the United Kingdom at a dinner during their stay for legislative capacity building course. Olayinka said the minister departed Nigeria Sunday night to host the meeting. Yesterday, the FCC minister Nyesom Wike hosted Rivers State House of Assembly members who are in the UK for legislative capacity building to a dinner. Wike left Nigeria on Sunday night after visiting his political friends and associates in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, he said. In a statement last week, Martin Wachuku, special assistant to the media, to Martin Amawulu, Speaker of the Rivers State Assembly, said the UK tour aims to enhance lawmakers' legislative skills.
On the Vanguard, NSA warns against ransom payment to terrorists, kidnappers, and hoarders. The National Security Advisor, NSA, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, yesterday warned against payment of ransom to terrorists, kidnappers, and other criminals. He gave the warning while receiving a fresh batch of over 60 rescued victims who had been in kidnappers' den for over a month, following intense military pressure in Kaduna. The victims, among whom was a deputy director in the civil service and a relative of Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka, all hail from Zango Katafa in southern Kaduna. speaking shortly before handing over the rescued victims, compromising 35 males and 29 females, as well as children, to the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Abubakar Ribadu, advised Nigerians, especially families of kidnapped victims, to stop paying ransom to kidnappers. According to him, payment of ransom is the engine encouraging the criminals to continue in their evil deeds.
And still on the online Royal newspaper this morning, and tell your papa people they die. Idris Abdul Karim tells Sheyi Tinubu. Veteran Nigerian musician Idris Abdul Karim has released a powerful new diss track titled Tell Your Papa, urging Sheyi Tinubu, son of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to convey the struggles of Nigerians to his father. The song, in a response to Sheyi Tinubu's recent claims that his father is Nigeria's greatest president, which sparks controversy last month. Sheyi, tell your papa country hard, tell your papa people they die, tell your papa this one don't pass jaga jaga. Sheyi, Alpha, I swear your papa no try. So much empty promises on behalf of Nigerians, take our message to him. Kidnappers they kill Nigerians. Sheyi, try travel by road without your security, make you feel the pains of fellow Nigerians. You dey fly private jets, insecurity no be your problem, he sings.
Still on the Vanguard, Ibas appoints administrators for 23 Rivers local governments amidst legal, political, and tensions. The sole administrator of Rivers State, Vice Admiral Ibokwete Kwebas, has approved the appointment of administrators for the 23 local government areas of the state, alongside the reconstitution of previously suspended boards of agencies, commissions, and parastatals. The appointment took effect from Monday, April 7, 2025. The approval was contained in a special government announcement issued on Wednesday by the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Ibrahim-Arowona. The development comes amid mounting legal and political tensions in the state, with a federal high court in Port Harcourt having earlier barred Ibas from making such appointment.
And on the Punch newspaper this morning, Nigeria loses $366 million as 16,000 doctors move abroad. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Pate, said over 6 Nigerian doctors have left the country in the last 5 to 7 years to seek greener pastures in the other countries. Professor Pate also said the doctor to population ratio is now 3.9%, 10,000 in the country, while the estimated cost of training one doctor exceeds $21,000. This was as he lamented that nurses and midwives who left have also thinned the numbers of health workers in the country. The minister disclosed this as the 7th annual capacity building workshop of the Association of Medical Council of Africa in Abuja.
On food imports. Niger State Governor Mohammed Bago decried the rate at which Africans rely heavily on food imports, adding that the continent imports $55 billion worth of food, including maize, wheat, oils, rice, and other agricultural products. This was as the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Bagudu, commended President Bola Tinubu's agricultural policies, noting that the sector had made significant progress under his leadership. Last week, the Donald Trump administration imposed various tariffs ranging between 10% and 65% on different countries across the world. Nigeria got a 14% tariff on its exports to the US. Bago hinted that when he met with the officials of Arab contractors in Cairo, Egypt, after securing an agreement with the Egyptians giant on agricultural production. He advocated the need for African leaders to take advantage of the continent's potential to cut down on food importations.
All right, so let's go on a short break and we'll be right back.
The lead among all radio Emirate Radio, the station of your choice.
Okay. That's a quick one. So, and still on the Punch newspaper this morning, 11 PDP governors urged South Court to halt Rivers emergency rule. A total of 11 governors of the People Democratic Party have approached the Supreme Court challenging what power President Bola Tinubu has to suspend a democratically elected structure of a state. The suit filed by the governors also challenged the declaration of a state of emergency rule in Rivers State. While the media previously reported that the suit had been filed before the Supreme Court, the governor's suit was actually only filed before the Apex Court on Tuesday. This was exclusively confirmed to the newsmen by the Director of the Information and Public Relations of the Supreme Court, Dr. Festus Akande. President Bola Tinubu had on March 18th declared a state of emergency in Rivers State and suspended Governor Timileyin Fubara, the State Deputy Governor Mrs. Ngozi Odu, and all elected members of the Rivers State House of Assembly for an initial period of 6 months. Following the suspension, President Tinubu appointed Vice Admiral Ibot Eke Abbas retired as the sole administrator to oversee the affairs of Rivers State pending the period of suspension.
Also on the Guardian newspaper, Obi Mba highlights Africa's potential at Commonwealth Summit. In a thought-provoking address at the Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council Summit, former presidential candidate Peter Obi warned that Africa must be among the global economic leaders or remain sidelined. Also, Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State charged Africa on robust regional collaborations and trade facilitation, insisted that Africa's economic renaissance lies in extensive trade and not charity. Speaking on the topic, Africa's role in the new global economy, Obi challenged African governments and institutions to rethink their present trajectory, warning that the continent is dangerously underperforming despite being rich in human and natural resources. Africa cannot continue to be a continent of promise without delivery, Obi firmly said. We must shift from potential to productivity.
Okay, still on the Punch newspaper this morning, Ifa Council urges Alaafin to uphold Yoruba tradition. The International Council for Ifa Religion on Tuesday urged the Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Akim Owade, to use all available means to protect the sanctity of Yoruba cultural and traditional values. The ICIR, in a congratulatory statement by its president, Fayemi Fakayode, in Ibadan, Oyo State capital, pledges its total support towards protecting the throne and core Yoruba values, to uphold and respect the accorded tradition and culture across the globe. He said, the members of ICIR are overwhelmed with joy over the successful installation of Oba Owade I Elewetu as the 46th Alaafin of Oyo Kingdom. Your coming after late Oba Lamidi Adeyemi is a reflection of Eledumare's plan to continue to use Oyo towards the emancipation of traditional Yoruba beliefs and religion. We want to urge you to use all available means to protect the sanctity of Yoruba's culture and traditional values, to uphold the global respects and tribes deserves. The late Alaafin Oba Adeyemi did his best to uphold Yoruba traditional against all odds. The council advised Alaafin to be wary of any traditional ruler breaching the sanctity of the institution in the region.
On the Guardian newspaper, lawyers petitioned police alleged plot to discredit Kano Emirate. The police prohibited the UNESCO-certified Kano cultural intangible heritage of humanity after sensing a security breach, even when the 15th Emir Aminu Ado Bayero cancelled his planned parallel Doba. Addressing journalists shortly after submitting their complaint, the leader of the lawyers, Usman Imam, insisted that the ban was unnecessary. He insisted that the so-called security threat has no substantial basis, querying if Dobas were allowed to hold in high-risk states like Borno, Katsina, and Zamfara, why not Kano? Even during Boko Haram's peak, such total bans were not implemented. The lawyers accused unpatriotic citizens and political actors of instigating fears in the minds of peaceful residents simply to prevent the cultural pageantry associated with Emir Sanusi's return to the palace. They argue that the ban not only infringed on cultural rights but also represents a broader attack on constitutional freedoms. Referring to the recent Court of Appeal judgment on the emirship, the letter warned against using law enforcement to carry out political persecution.
Still on the Punch newspaper this morning by 27. Marry, get a PhD or move out. Kanayo tells daughter on 25th birthday. Veteran Nollywood actor Najeebah Oyerinde, popularly known as Kanayo, has taken to social media to celebrate his daughter Valerie as she marks her 25th birthday. The actor, while celebrating his daughter's birthday, stated that before his daughter gets to age 27, he is expecting her to either get married, complete her PhD, or leave his house as an adult. Taking to his Instagram page on Tuesday, the actor showered his daughter with blessings and admiration, while also clearly stating that he expects her to either get married, complete her PhD, or leave his house as an adult. He wrote, "My daughter Ulaku Bank House of Forts, congratulations on your 25th birthday. From little Valerie to a prospective Madame Ulaku, as I told you this morning while praying for you, it should be a day of sober reflection, things to copy, things to paste, and things to delete. What realities there are and the facade of things thereof." Can I reminisce about how she will often challenge him to being away on movie sets, missing out on time at home? He explained that constant travel is part of the job for successful actors and expressed gratitude for remaining active in demand in the industry. Alright, what if she's not able to get husband by that age? Are you still going to send her out or what?
I thought you won't. It will still encourage her to do more certifications.
Okay, let's wait then.
So on the Guardian newspaper, Edo Assembly gets new majority leader, Chief Whip. The Edo State House of Assembly yesterday named Jonathan Ibrahim as the new majority leader following the emergence of All Progressive Congress as the majority party in the House. The news agency of Nigeria reports that in March, the APC had notified the Assembly of its new majority status and indicated that changes in the House leadership would be announced in due course. The APC currently holds 13 seats after 4 lawmakers defected from the People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party, in reducing the PDP seats to 11. During the yesterday's plenary session in Benin, the Speaker of the House, Blessing Agbeba, could read a letter from the APC leadership nominating new principal officers. According to the letter, Ibrahim was appointed as the new majority leader, Ade Isibo as deputy majority leader, and Mustafa Leki as chief whip. The position of deputy chief whip, initially assigned to Richard Edosa, was withdrawn as the House does not recognize such a position. Edosa, formerly the sole LP lawmaker, recently defected to APC.
Okay, still on the Punch newspaper this morning, Olubadan declares Serikin Sasa illegal, threatens sanction. The Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Owolabi Olakuleyin, has declared the title of Serikin Sasa in the Akinyele local government area of Oyo State as null and void and not recognized by the Ibadan traditional chieftaincy law. The declaration was made during the Olubadan in-council meeting held at the Olubadan Palace at Okearemo in Ibadan on Monday. The newsmen gathered that the late Serikin Sasa Alhaji Aruna Yasin Katsina, who was the chairman of the Council of Arewa Traditional Rulers in the 17th southern states of Nigeria, died on March 2, 2025. In a swift move to fill the leadership vacuum, one of his sons, Ahmed Aruna Chiroma, was unanimously nominated as the new Serikin Sasa by the family and the Traditional Council of the 17th southern states without the consent of Olubadan. A statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the monarch, Benga Ayuade in Ibadan on Tuesday said, Chief Akiade Ajani Amusa is the recognized Bale of Sasalan in the Akinyele local area of the state and the accredited representative of the Olubadan of Ibadan land. Let it be noted that any individual or group of persons in Sasa land are under the authority of the Baale of Sasa land, Akinade Ajani. It is therefore imperative to accord him the appropriate respect and authority. Any disobedience to his directive will be met with serious sanctions, as it will be considered an effort to the Olubadan still.
Now on the Nation newspaper, Shettima inaugurates NISO's board. Vice President Kashim Shettima yesterday inaugurated the board of the Nigeria Independent System Operator Limited at the State House, Abuja, marking a pivotal step in the federal government's effort to restructure and strengthen Nigeria's electricity sector in line with the Electricity Act 2023. The 11-member board, chaired by legal and financial expert Dr. Adesegun Akin Olugbade, is tasked with overseeing the operational and market independence of NISO, which will now manage critical aspects of Nigeria's electricity supply chain, including grid stability, system operations, power dispatch, and market coordination. Other members of the board include Engineer Abdul Bello Muhammad, Managing Director, Engineer Nafisatu Asabe Ali, Executive Director, System Operation, Engineer Shehu Abba Aliyu, Executive Director, System Planning, Dr. Edmond Eje, Executive Director, Market Operation, and Mr. Babajide Ibirunke, Executive Director, Finance and Corporate Services.
Okay, and on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, 1 dead, 4 injured in Osun Polytechnic holds clash. A violent clash between rival court groups outside the gate of Osun State Polytechnic, Ibrahim, has left 1 person feared dead and 4 others injured. According to eyewitness accounts, the incident, which occurred on Tuesday, reportedly involved suspected members of the Eye and Aye confraternities, both of whom allegedly exchanged gunfire during the confrontations. A graphic video shared by Facebook user Lamina Omotoyosi captured a man in a white shirt striking another man repeatedly on the head with a hammer, while other 2 watched nearby. The clash happened very close to the Polytechnic gate. The man was hit on the head several times with a hammer. 4 others were also injured during the fight, said one witness who spoke anonymously. Eyewitness claims that the victim, described as a male adult, was rushed to a private hospital in Ire, but was turned away, and he reportedly died en route to another medical facility in Oshogo. Wow, this is really sad. Okay.
On the Nation newspaper, Airpeace introduces new passenger boarding procedures. Airpeace has introduced new boarding procedures for its passengers aimed at reducing congestion and orderliness. The new arrangement, according to the spokesman of the airline, Dr. Ejike Indilo, will accord priority to military personnel, passengers with wheelchairs or special needs, and business class passengers. According to Indilo, the implementation of a new boarding arrangement aimed at delivering an even more seamless, convenient, and professional travel experience for all passengers. It said this initiative reflects Airpeace's ongoing commitment to elevating service standards and fostering a new culture of care, respect, professionalism, and efficiency. At Airpeace, we understand that time and comfort matter deeply to our passengers, said Dr. Allen Oyema, Chairman CEO, Airpeace Limited.
Okay, and lastly, on this morning's newspaper review on Daily Post newspaper, we have police uncovered baby factory in Ijegun, rescued 10 victims. Lagos State Police Command has uncovered a suspected baby factory operating in the Ijegun area of the state, rescuing 10 individuals and arresting 3 suspects in connecting with the illegal operations. The command spokesperson, SP Benjamin Lundeyi, confirmed the development on Monday while briefing journalists. He said the operation followed a credible tip-off received on Saturday, prompting swift police intervention. Officers from the command raided the premises and arrested the suspected operator of the facility. It was 5-year-old Miriam Vincent. The 2 accomplices, Ori Roos, 23, and Ujunwa, Ifeanyi, 18 were also taken into custody. During the raid, the police rescued 17 adult women and 3 children believed to have been held against their will. The other victims were identified as Precious, 24, Magdalene, 25, Adao B, 23, Princess, 22, Ifeanyi, 25, and Amaka, 26, while the rescued children were named Destiny, 7, Miracle, 5, and Success, 2. All rescued individuals are currently receiving care and support as investigations continues.
Still on the Nation newspaper, NCC MNO order plan refund of unused airtime to subscribers. The Nigerian Communications Commission, the mobile network operators, and other stakeholders have commenced moves to refund telecom subscribers for unused recharges after a period of 1 year. Subscribers whose lines are deactivated or inactive for a period of 1 year would have their recharges returned to them provided they are able to prove the ownership of the deactivated or inactive lines. According to the Executive Vice Chairman of the NCC, Dr. Aminu Maida, the move was necessary to protect consumer rights and ensure efficiency and transparent management of subscribers' hard-earned resources. Speaking at the headquarters at the Commission in Abuja during a stakeholders engagement consultative forum on regulatory instruments to address unutilized and unclaimed charges, the airtime and data by telecom consumers, Dr. Maida insisted that challenges that compromise consumer rights must be addressed. Represented at the event by the Executive Commissioner Stakeholders Management of NCC, Remi Makama, he said the draft instrument was necessary for consideration by all stakeholders to explore practical solutions to the issues of unclaimed charges.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of newspaper review today on Emirate Radio. You want to listen to any of or want to read or listen to any of those newspapers, you can pick any of those news daily and read them all on the online ones. So thank you for listening to our episode of newspaper review. I am Latifah Ibrahim-Arowona, and with me this morning is...
Thank you for listening to us, and remember, knowledge is power and no knowledge is wasted. I am Najeebah Oyerinde.
All right, have a good day. Yeah, I'm a last call. What was that?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ní o.
What's one time?